here's my book review of Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. To summarize, I would say when a young Bella Swan leaves her mother's house in Phoenix, Arizona to go live with her dad in Forks, Washington, she seems to catch the eye of a mysterious boy who may not be what he seems. He is drawn to her for reasons unknown, and he and his family have a history that is far different from anyone else in the town. While getting close to him may unlock secrets that she could only dream about, is he worth leaving her entire life behind? Twilight, written by Stephanie Meyer, is a young adult fantasy romance novel. It has, fantasy, supernatural themes, like paranormal, anything out of the ordinary. And then there's also some gothic and darker tones, if that's what you're looking for. I would say people 12 and up, maybe even 11, would enjoy this book. It's very versatile for a wide age range because, can't go wrong with some good fantasy romance. There's also themes of love triangles, suspense, different high stakes relationship elements, and unlikely love. So, yeah, that's what I say. Some cons of the book are, I found that Bella's character was a little bit underdeveloped than what I usually prefer. Stephanie Meyer wrote this book based off a dream that she had. And so she put herself into Bella's shoes, and it seems to me that she wrote it so that anybody could put herself in that shoes, which is good, which is why a lot of younger girls enjoy this, just because it's a little, it's not as descriptive of her as an older audience would enjoy. I still enjoyed it, even though I am a little older, and my mom enjoys this book like a lot of people do. But yeah, her personality just doesn't quite hit the mark for me. There's not much depth to her character, which is okay because it works for the book. And what are some other cons? Some instances of her making bad decisions were pretty irritating and unrealistic, things that had me reading and being like, girl, I would never do that. So, some stupid decision making on Bella's end. Most of the cons are from Bella, and though she is the main character, I still liked it. Even though some parts were annoying, the rest of the plot worked well enough to where I could still read it and say, yeah, that was a good book. And then another con is that there was a controversy with the author. She used the name of a tribe in Washington, in the area she was talking about, to base the werewolves on. So the werewolves are an actual, they're a Native American tribe, and she used the name of an actual tribe, and they didn't receive any financial compensation or any of their history. And she completely pulled apart all of their history and made it her own, and she didn't tell them or ask them if that was okay. So that's the controversy surrounding this book. But other than that, there's not a whole lot other than people just disagreeing about liking it or not. But on a positive note, I really liked the plethora of interesting characters outside of Bella Swan. Her family, I really liked her dad in the book, and Edward, the Cullens, the entire Cullen clan, I found really interesting. They all had their own personalities and different backstories. They each had a different backstory of how they turned into a vampire, which I really enjoyed. She did flesh out, and then their whole government system. That I thought just the lore behind the vampires was really interesting, and the werewolves, the lore behind the werewolves. Even though she did steal their culture, which, after learning that, it's hard for me to say that I liked what she wrote, but I did find it interesting at the time of reading. So yeah, and she really did paint a picture pretty well, and I like her writing style as well. But other than that, I think that's all I have to say about Twilight.